this wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This lovely, this lovely, this lovely day.
Good morning. Thank you, Elise Carver, and help along the way there. Let's stand, let's sing.
Everybody,
Get up on your feet.
See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. Good morning. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. Be the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to keep it going. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. You may be seated. Thank you so much. Is everybody awake now? Who needs coffee when you got that? Everybody's like, okay, I had my coffee too. I don't drink coffee, but. So good to be here with all of you this morning. So good to be here. We were here all day yesterday with the practitioner seminar. So we have practitioners, ministers from all different centers in the area here, filling up our space with their wonderful energy. So good to have you all here. I'm Reverend Gregory Toole. This is a community where we know that we have the power within us to change and transform our lives, to elevate our thinking and change our lives. See, I learned from the practitioner seminar yesterday. So good to see everyone. We've got our board president, Mark Ruth, is going to give us our announcements.
Good morning. Join us for a powerful, certificated foundational science of mind class with Reverend Gregory called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life on 6 Thursdays, 6 to 8:30 p.m. It will elevate your thinking and elevate your life. This class, you can still sign up. This class is a prerequisite for all certificated classes and will provide you with practical tools to apply the science of mind teaching to your life. Elaine Yazuki is hosting a Spanish-speaking study group with the Ernest Holmes book, This Thing Called You, the Spanish version, every Thursday from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. There will be a discovery class on Sunday, February 2nd in Richelieu Hall. All are welcome, especially those who are newer to the center. This is an informational class that will answer all your questions about the Center for Spiritual Living. If you took the visioning class with Reverend Gregory, your certificate of completion is ready to be picked up at the front desk. Our labyrinth walk will be on Thursday, February 6th at 3:45 p.m., and our drumming circle will continue on Sunday, February 23rd. For a full list of activities, see the weekly e-newsletter, Spirit Speaks magazine, and activity table. Also at the activity table are handouts for the Season for Nonviolence starting January 30th and the flyer for the Bears of Love in February. Reverend Gregory wants to fill all the sanctuary seats with both warm bodies and bears of love. You can already see them showing up in the seats. These bears get filled with your love during the month of February and then are donated to children in hospitals, hospice, and in shelters. Make sure that it is a small or medium bear. People of all sizes are welcome. If you would like to donate to those displaced by the fires, please see the flyer on the activity table. We accept donations during business hours. At this time, we are not accepting clothing as the donation centers are full. We are collecting water, diapers, formula, wipes, baby food, non-perishable foods, and hygiene products. Thank you to all those who have brought donations for those affected by the fires, and thank you to all who have made trips to deliver the donations. We are making a difference, and thank you. If you would like prayer for something in your life, please come to the front of the sanctuary by the piano after service. One of our practitioners will lead the prayer circle. If you are here for the first time, please raise your hand so the ushers can offer you a gift. Anyone here for the first time? Going once? Go, we got a winner there. Thank you. Got the winner. Okay, fantastic. Nice to have you here. Be sure to stop by our Welcome New Friends table for more information about us. There you can also provide your email address so we can send out to you our weekly e-newsletter. Thank you for bringing the gift of your presence today. And of course, a big thank you to all our wonderful volunteers. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you.
I would invite you all to close your eyes for a second and turn within. Take a deep breath and just settle for a moment. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world.
who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. Who you are, who you be, how you show up right now is a blessing to the world. All that you are, all that you do, all that you be, you are a blessing to the world. That is the truth. For we are the expressions of the one God. We are the expressions of the one life. We are the expressions of the one power, the one love, the one essence of peace and wholeness and harmony. This is the truth of our being. We are its expressions right here on earth. And so I speak my word this morning to know that each one of us here who are showing up for this service online or in person are the divine emanations of that one living presence of love and wholeness and harmony. That everything that we do makes a difference. Every step we take makes a difference. We take that step with peace. We take that step with love. We take that step with joy. We take that step with knowing the truth of who we are and the truth of who all others are, regardless of appearances to the contrary. We see that every being is a divine being. Every being is a divine expression of that one. And so we walk this earth blessing, 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 blessing everywhere we go. And so today we fill this sanctuary with the blessed energy of the presence of God within us. And we allow that essence, that energy to ripple out past the walls of this sanctuary, out into Redondo Beach, out into the state of California, across this land of the United States of America, across this entire planet called Earth. We are a blessing to the world, and I am so grateful. I release my word, knowing it is done. I let it be, and so it is.
Now it's on. Thank you, Grant. Thank you very much. Today, Reverend Gregory's talk is how spiritual principles work. And this idea of how it works is something that Ernest Holmes felt was important enough to put it in the basics of science of mind. And he talks about how spiritual principles are very much like physical principles. Physical principles have laws and they have to be obeyed, or you have consequences. And spiritual principles are the same. And so he uses, and I use very often, the physical principle of gravity. Because I know that if I take a big step off of here, I will fall to the ground. And I understand that principle, so I don't do that. But it is something that we understand innately, and it's useful to apply it to what's going on in our lives. Last weekend, I had the distinct pleasure of taking care of my now 11-month-old grandson, Bobby, for 3 solid days. Some of you may have met him last week. He doesn't walk yet. He's on the cusp of walking. But he crawls and he walks holding on to things. He understands gravity to some degree, but he's growing in that understanding. And he practiced walking around holding on to things, but what he really practiced was climbing up and down these pairs of 2 steps that are in several places in our house. He would crawl right up easily, but the getting down was a challenge. And he kept working at it, being very careful, and he got it. He practiced, and he practiced, and he practiced getting it right. And so I remember, go back a couple of years, in my garage, I was going down my steps one morning, and I missed the bottom step and fell down like a tree. And it didn't hurt me, but I'm going, what is wrong with that? And then I realized with the light off, I can't see that bottom step. And so I went down again. I actually fell 3 times before I actually remembered to turn on the light before I go down the stairs. And so I haven't fallen since. I turned on the light. Boy, isn't that a metaphor? That light of understanding. And so that is what Ernest Holmes says. He begins the chapter by saying, or the section by saying, sometimes we engage in too much theory and not enough practice. Spiritual principles are the same. We can understand the principle, but if we're not completely getting it in our lives, it's not the problem with the principle. It's the problem of our understanding. We have to have a degree of understanding that we build that belief. Because Ernest Holmes says, an ounce of conviction is worth many pounds of affirmations. I had a client that came to me a number of years ago. I was a shiny new practitioner, and she made an appointment. I met her, and she came to me, I have this condition. I have met my doctor. I have surgery on, and she gave me the date. And I want you to pray for me today, and I want you to pray for me on the day of my surgery, and I know that I will be fine. I have rarely met someone who had that kind of conviction on anticipating such a big deal that she was doing. But I was absolutely in supporting her in her conviction and my conviction, because she convinced me, and I was supporting her tremendously. And she wrote me a big fat check, I will say that as well. And then, yes, and she came back, and subsequent to all of this, it said, all is well, and I just want to thank you for what you did. Well, what I knew in that moment as a shiny new practitioner is I didn't do all of that. That woman had that conviction. She had that ounce of conviction that took her over that line. So what I'm saying for all of us today is wherever we are in our level of belief, because that's what we're talking about, that we have to believe something to the point that we have that conviction. So whatever's going on in your life, whatever is the wholeness that you feel that you are lacking, that wholeness of body, of finances, of your relationships, know with me right now that you are whole. So I'm going to ask you to actually repeat for me, I am whole. Now this time, I want you to say it with just a little more conviction. One more time for sealing it. I am whole. And so it is.
Sadness and stress is everywhere. So many buy into illusion and then wonder, why isn't life fair? The point of life is to flourish, never to suffer like we're told. So let's join together and we'll nourish the world with love. Let the majesty unfold. Let's work to heal this nation. Let's take our hands and truly give. Ignite a loving celebration. 'Cause if we be the change we want to see in the world, together we will build a life we want to live. The time is now to discover what kind of people we can be. Let's join together and uncover our eyes from the veil and begin to finally see. The key to love is compassion, seeing each other as ourselves. Let's join together and we'll fashion the world into love, into harmony and peace. Let's work to heal this nation. Let's take our hands and truly give. Ignite a loving celebration. 'Cause if we be the change we want to see in the world together. So many moments in each day we make a choice to love or stay in suffering. So let's come together with one heart and one voice, and oh, let's help the world to sing. Let's take our hands and truly give. Ignite a loving celebration. 'Cause if we be the change we want to see in the world, together we can build a life we want to live. Ooh, we can build a life we want to live. We can build a life we want to live. We can build a life we want to live. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much.
Woohoo! Wow. Thank you. Let's give her some more love. That was extraordinary. That was just so awesome. I love you, Elise Carver. You are so awesome. We got it good here. We really got it good. We got like the Ruths up here in the front. We got Mark and Monica Ruth up here. We got Reverend Kathy up here. We got Reverend Catherine up here. We got all of you. You got it good. I got it good. We got a good thing going here, and it's just going to keep getting better. Yes, it's just going to keep getting better. You know what? Thank God for this rain, right? We got some rain. We really need this rain so it's not so dry here. And really love how so many people have been rallying for those affected by the fires. And one of the things that's been really meaningful to me is all the donation centers fill up and can't take any more stuff and all of that. But yet the people still need things. So I want to really know about who are the people who need things. I know Elise has told me about friends of hers, and so I gave to the GoFundMe there. And then Robin, our youth person, told me about friends of hers, and I gave to their So I want to learn about the people, right? Because we can go directly to some of the people who need help, and we're so close in to where all this is happening that we all know people. So let's start letting each other know who the people are, and let's start reaching out to some of the people and supporting them. Boy, just a $25 gift or any little gift to the people will really help, and find out what are the people needing. Yes, you with me? Yes, thank you. It's the beauty that comes out of disasters is all that we do to rise up into our greater nature, and we are doing that. Yes. Want to hear another story? There was a man who was intent on breaking into a house. Well, sometimes people go off on the wrong way. So he broke into this house, and he's starting to collect all the stuff. I don't know, maybe he's got his duffel bag or something, and he's collecting up the stuff, and there's a parrot there. And this parrot says, Jesus is watching you. Repeats it again, Jesus is watching you. Well, the man ignores the parrot. He's like still collecting all the stuff, like some silly bird. But then the bird repeats again, Jesus is watching you. Jesus is watching you. And the man turns to the parrot and he says, what kind of man has a bird that says Jesus is watching you? He said, well, the parrot said, the same kind of man who has a Doberman named Jesus. Let us pray for that man. Many of you know I love tennis, play tennis, watch tennis. Does anyone know what the news is, the big news for American tennis players? Upset. Not for us. We got the win. Madison Keys won the final. She is the Australian Open champion. She's an American woman, 29 years old, playing against all odds. In fact, I had a conversation just this past week with some guys that I was playing tennis with, and we were talking about the match because she played this woman, Aryna Sabalenka, who is number one in the world and who won the Australian Open the last 2 years. So she was the defending champion, and I was talking to these folks, and I said, you know, I think Madison Keys might win. And they just kind of laughed at me. They said, well, we want to be for her. She's American, so, you know, we want to be for her, but come on. This is Aryna Sabalenka. And I said, I know, but I have a feeling she's going to win. And here's why. Because I was watching her posture. I was watching how she was moving. I was watching how she was being. And there was something that shifted in her where she was like, this is my year. And I was feeling that consciousness of this is my year. Say that. Maybe this is your year. Say that. This is my year. Say it again. This is my year. So we stop paying attention to all the rest of that noise, and we start to claim because I just had a feeling about this. I was watching her. I'm like, she stepped into a zone. Like she stepped into her own. And then I had to watch the interview after because I'm like, I got to hear this, you know, when they were interviewing her and talking to her. And she said, because they asked her, what was your mindset when you went out onto that court? And she said, you know, I went out there and I said, I just want to play the game that I want to play. I want to do what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And if I go out there and do what I want to do, I can live with losing. Like if I lose, I lose. But if I go out, because she said I played in the U.S. Open Championship, and I didn't do, when the moment came, I didn't do what I came out there to do. I started changing and being something else. So he said, I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I did that, and now I'm sitting here. Isn't that beautiful? And 29, by the way, is kind of on the older end for tennis. So this means she's been at it for a long time. She actually became a professional tennis player at the age of 14. So 15 years later, many people might have given up, and many people probably told her to give up, right? Like, hey, go get a real job. It's amazing, this life that we live here, and we get to work with our minds. We get to elevate our minds, right? We get to elevate our minds, and by elevating our minds, we get to begin calling in a different experience of life. So many examples of how we can do this. I want to share something from Ernest Holmes here. After I adjust the furniture. Ernest Holmes says a treatment, which is spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer. He says a treatment is a statement in the law. You heard about the law from Reverend Catherine, right? That there's a law just like gravity. The basic law is the law of cause and effect, right? What we put out is what comes back. So he says a treatment is a statement in the law embodying the concrete idea of our desires and accompanied by an unqualified faith that the law works for us as we work with it. So we begin to develop this great trust, this great faith, in the same way that we have great faith in the law of gravity, as Catherine mentioned. We also have this great faith that if we plant a seed, I ask in the classes, I say, who here believes that if you plant a tomato seed, that you will get anything other than a tomato plant? Who here believes that if you plant a tomato seed, that you might get radishes? Is there anyone? Never yet so far. I'm sure there's going to be one day there's going to be someone who says, yeah, I believe that. But so far in all the classes, I have never had a student say that they believe that if they planted a tomato seed, they might get radishes. We know it's a law. The seed is planted, and whatever the seed that gets planted, that's what gets created. And our thoughts are those seeds. Our thoughts are those seeds. Those seeds, those thought seeds that we are planting. So if we are planting seeds of love, what are we going to get back? Love in all of its various forms. If we are planting seeds of I'm not good enough, what are we going to get back? I'm not good enough. If we're planting seeds, one of the seeds I was planting as a young person was, and I still have to watch it because somehow it's still a little bit in there, is I'm not included. Right? So I was planting seeds of I'm not included, and everywhere I would look, I'm not included, right? Sometimes even when I was included, I would see not being included. I would be like, why didn't you include me? And they go, oh, I sent you the email that I sent to everyone else. Oh. We are planting these seeds all the time. And just like when we plant a tomato seed, we absolutely know we're going to get a tomato. When we plant the seeds of our thoughts, we absolutely know we're going to get what is like the thought. Why am I so excited up here? Why do I feel so energized? Because when you know this truth, you can't help but be excited, right? When you know God is moving through your being, how anything other than energized and excited? You know what I mean? Like sometimes we'll sing these great songs and I'll see someone just like, I'm like, or I'll go to a jazz club, right? And the jazz club, man, they'll be like jamming, you know, like boom, 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 boom. And I'll just see someone like, and I'll be like, how are you? I'm sitting there like, yeah. So here we got this divine life moving through us, this divine life, this divine power. We get energized by that, yes? Who feels energized today? Yes. Yes. There's a lot going on in the world these days. Anyone notice that? There's a lot going on in the world, but there's always a lot going on in the world. There's always wars and rumors of wars and this and that. And ours, as the book long ago, In Search of Excellence, said, stick to your knitting. Our job is to stick to our knitting. Our job is the same way we got up yesterday, we get up today, and we go out and be a blessing to the world. As we sung earlier, we go out and we be a blessing to the world. We go out and we be a blessing to the world. We wake up today and know what is mine to do. And if we see something and we see a so-called problem, what is mine to do? How am I to contribute to the solution to that? How am I to be part of the transformation of the planet? And things aren't always as they seem, by the way, right? Sometimes the things that we think that means that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, it's like the very chaos that is needed to clear out things. Sometimes it's the very chaos that's needed to clear out things, regardless of the intent of the person creating the chaos. When Joseph in the Bible, when his brothers, out of jealousy, sold him into slavery because they were like, you know, he's our father's favorite son and we don't like this. So they tried to get him on out of there. First they were going to kill him, but they thought, well, maybe why kill him? We might be able to get some money. But when Joseph had the consciousness that was so strong that he was going to rise up no matter what. So there he was in Egypt, in the land of Egypt, and I'm going to cut that story real short. But there he was in this very high position in Egypt in a time of famine, and his brothers needed food. And Egypt was the only place that had food, and Joseph was the man in charge of the food. So they came there. They didn't realize it was Joseph, though. They just went there for the food. And they showed up, and then suddenly they had one of those OS moments. Sugar, 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 oh, sugar. We're like, that's Joseph. He's in charge. We're in trouble now. And they go up sheepishly to Joseph, and they're like, oh, we're so sorry about what we did. We know it was wrong, and Joseph was like, hey, don't trip. That's not an exact quote. But that's what he was really saying. He was like, you meant it for evil. This is a famous line. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. See, this is what we have to realize here. What we have to realize is that there is a divine presence that is weaving through all of this and making good out of all, that's why we can mess up and life still turns out. There's something greater going on in us that is weaving it all for the greater good and weaving it all for the greater good. So don't worry so much about what everyone else is doing. Trust and know that the greater good is happening, and trust what you are called to do and what I am called to do and what we are called to be. What are you called to be in this moment? What are you called to rise up to in this moment? Trust that and follow that. We don't have to just be in reaction to everything that's happening around us. Don't get off your course. Check in with the presence of infinite intelligence and wisdom and love within you and say, what is mine to do? And follow that. You cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong by following that. Anyone believe that? Yes. I do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Cloud, there's applause over here. Applause, yes. Let's amplify that. It started like one person. Thank you for getting that going. These laws, the way that this universe responds to us when we are speaking our word, we are putting it's so amazing, really. It's incredible how we sometimes forget how powerful we are. There was a woman, I shared this with a couple of people recently. There was a woman when I was in Colorado. It was her mother, actually. This woman was another minister. And she shared with me for years and years, one of her mom's slogans. And one of her mom's slogans that she would say over and over again throughout her whole life was, I might live to 90, but I probably won't live much beyond that. That was her slogan. The woman drank really heavily, smoked really heavily, did all the things, and I'm not encouraging all that, by the way. It's still an amazing story because she did all the things that you would say you're probably not going to live to 90, but her thing she said over and over again was, I might live to 90, but I probably won't live much beyond that. What do you think happened? She turned 90, and shortly after that, boom. This is how powerful our word is. Yes? So powerful our word is. We have to tune out the world sometimes. And we have to remember what is ours to do and what is ours to be. I remember when I was growing up, so many people, the first company I worked at when I first started my career, I was a software developer, and a man said to me, you can only go so far. Now, I have no idea why, and I didn't inquire as to why, because that was not important to me. It's like, is it my height? Is it the color of my skin? Is it what is it? You think I'm not smart? That didn't matter. I never asked him because the only thing that mattered was what I believed about where I was going. Another person, I worked in a supermarket, and they saw me working behind the counter in the supermarket, and I told them all these great things I wanted to do, and the man said, "You're not going to do all those things." And it totally makes sense, right? It's a big stretch for someone who doesn't believe in possibilities to look at someone working, with a smock on, working behind a grocery counter and talking about doing all these wonderful things. They say that all the water in the ocean can't sink a ship except the water that gets on the inside. The water that gets on the inside, that can sink a ship. But all the rest of that water in the ocean won't sink the ship. We say there will be a lot of people in this life that will doubt you. Just make sure you're not one of them. Just make sure you're not one of the people doubting you. Don't worry about all the other people doubting you. We want to start learning to discipline our thinking in such a way that at every moment we are choosing what we're putting our attention on. It's the reason why we do spiritual practice. It's the reason why when we wake up, we go into meditation and we get still and we get grounded and we get centered so that throughout the day, we can keep checking in. Where am I? Where am I? We can keep being present to ourselves, and we can be consciously directing where our thoughts are. Before we get on a path like this, the vast majority of our thoughts are unconscious. So sometimes we're saying, well, this doesn't work because I did this treatment, I did this prayer, I spoke my word, I did this affirmation, and that didn't come about. But the affirmation or the treatment that they did was about 2 or 3 minutes of their day, and throughout the rest of their day, there was all kind of chaos going on out there through the mind. So we begin to discipline our minds. We begin to get still. We begin to get intentional about what it is that we're thinking. So I want to close with this idea that in this invitation to us today, that we really remember that there is a law, that there is a power, that there is a presence within us, and that our word is creating our very life moment by moment by moment. And it is only our word that is determining the outcomes in our lives. Go out there, multiply the blessings, be the blessing. Thank you so much for the way that you're showing up in this world. I'm so happy to be a part of what we are doing here, and it's good, and it's very good, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you all. You are so gracious. Thank you.
Here's one of my favorite songs by Daniel and Nimad that I have listened to many, many, many times over the years and has held me in times when I needed it the most. There are days so hard, seems like nothing's going right. There are nights so cold, you're just praying for the light. There are times when you think that there's no going on. You're convinced that you're not that strong. But just then, a day like this comes along. So celebrate your life today. Great and joyful things have come your way. Love with all to celebrate. 'Cause every morning there's reason to feel blessed. 'Cause just for you, God has set aside the best. You can do whatever you dream of. All you need to do is love yourself, and then you will find you can always rise above. So celebrate your life today. Great and joyful things have come your way. Love with all your heart and soul today. Know that God has made you whole. There will never be a better day than today to celebrate. It can take so long to reap what you sow. You can lose your way even when you're sure which way to go. So why wait to appreciate what you have now? You already understand how. You just open your eyes and heart as wide as they'll allow. So celebrate your life today. Great and joyful things have come your way. Love with all your heart and soul today. Know that God has made you whole. There will never be a better day than today to celebrate. To celebrate. To celebrate. To celebrate. That song gets to me. It really does.
Thank you, John Louis and Elise Carver. Yes. Yes, it's so true. There's no time like the present. Yes. Thank you for the ways that you give to this community. Some of you may know that over the past number of years, coming through COVID, coming through many of the other different transitions that this center has been through, that this center has operated at a deficit for several years now. And the good news is the deficits keep getting smaller and smaller. And the other good news is that we have had these reserves that we've been able to lean into, so we've been very blessed by that. But we have a budget committee this year, and my goal and our goal is to at least break even this year, to put those deficits behind us. It's going to take a little work. It's going to take a little bit of effort. It's going to take some generosity from all of us. And by the way, I am a tither myself as well. So everything I'm asking you to do, I want to be, and I will be this year, just based on my tithing and based on knowing what the level of giving is. I will be one of the top givers this year in the community. Who wants to join me in being, maybe you won't get there, but who wants to have the intention to be one of the top givers in this community? Are you sure no one else wants to do it? I just want you to know that what I'm asking you to do, I am doing as well. I really believe in what we're doing. I really believe in tithing. I really believe we cannot outgive God. That's the beauty of it. We cannot outgive God, so I'm willing to so freely give because I know whatever I give is only going to come back to me heaped up, pressed down, and running over. Anyway, that's the law. Remember, we're talking about these laws. There's a law of circulation. So I invite us all to just give generously because we've got big things to do here in the world. We've got big things to do in this community. We've got some youth ministry that's really starting to pop with Rob and Willie Pratt, who was here last week to meet you all. So thank you for the ways that you generously give. We are doing this, and we're turning a corner on all of that because that's who we are. We are prosperous people, yes? Yes. All right. So many different ways to give. You can text your amount to 424-379-3733. You can also go to our website, redondocsl.org/donate. You can also use the QR code, and you can also do just the old-fashioned way of writing a check or putting cash in. And if you're at home, you can do all those things as well. So if you got value from the center, you get value from the center. Please support us with your generosity, and thank you for the ways that you're already doing that. God bless you. So let's do our affirmation together as we hold our gift. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
Grateful for the morning, I'm grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, I'm grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, I'm grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Yes, God is all there is. Yes. Stand here and let us do some powerful work for a moment here. Before we leave out of here, there's no moment like the present to really seize upon the moment here. So let's prepare the vessel, when you want to speak your word and be powerful. Let's prepare the vessel. Let's get ourselves ready. Let's first of all just kind of shake it out a little bit. You can shake as much as you want. Don't do what I do. And with the shaking of it out, let's open up our being. Let's really open up. We don't want to be closed. We don't want to resist. We don't want to be clenching, right? Let's really open up. Let's open up and consider some good that you're now claiming for your life, and really start to open to it with your posture. Just open up. Feel all of your chakras opening, crown chakra, all the way down. Opening up the heart chakra, third eye, all of it. all of it, all of it. Going down to the solar plexus, that place of power, that center of power, opening that up. Just opening all the way from the bottom of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. We're just open, and we're allowing that spiritual divine energy to flow through us. We're in touch with the presence of the divine right where we are. Yes, we in touch? Yes, we are feeling it, right? We are feeling it. Say, I feel it. It's in me. It is me. All right, from there, we're ready. Now we're ready. We're open. We're ready. See, we can't just speak our word like, We got to like open up, be ready. We're going to speak a powerful word here, yes? Yes. All right, let's do it. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life. I, Gregory, you put your name in there. Speak my word. I declare and know that this thing that I am wanting is right now seeking me. It's on the way. In fact, in the mind of God, it's already done. It's already here. I claim it. I accept it. I embrace it. I welcome it. I give thanks for it because I know it's done. I let it be. And so it is. Yes. If you're comfortable, please join hands with your neighbor and let us sing the peace song together. I invite our ministers and practitioners to come forward on the stage with me.